So we're going to do a couple more ACT math practice problems from practice test number 1. We're picking up at page 67, exercise 50. So the problem says, after polling a class of 20 music students by a show of hands, you find that 8 students play the guitar and 9 students play the piano. Given that information, what is the minimum number of students in this music class who play both the guitar and the piano? So then, if you have 8 students, X students who play the guitar and Y students who play the piano, in order for you to have at least some students who play both, this number right here needs to be greater than the total number of students in the class. Because let's say if you had 25 students that played, between the students that played guitar and piano, if you had 25 and only 20 in the class, there needs to be some overlap, right? All right, so here we have 8 students who play the guitar and 9 who play the piano, which is 17 students. And we have 20 students in the class, so 17 is less than 20. Therefore, there is a possibility that none of those students play both instruments, because the total number of students that play either the guitar or the piano is less than the total number of students in the class. So then the answer is F, 0 students. All right, problem 51. A teacher assigns each of her 18 students a different integer from 1 through 18. The teacher forms pairs of study partners by using the rule that the sum of the pair is the sum of the pair of numbers is a perfect square. Assuming the 9 pairs of students follow this rule, the student assigned which number must be paired with the student assigned the number 1. All right, so this is the way we're going to approach this problem. If there's 18 students and they all get assigned an integer from 1 through 18, what is the maximum number of students? What is the maximum number that's going to be in a pair of students? So that would be 18 plus 17, which are the two greatest numbers, which is 35. Then we have to find every perfect square that's less than 35. Just 1, 4, 9, 16, and 25. So starting from the largest number, 18, it's greater than everything but 25. So it needs to pair up with someone that's gonna add up to 25, which is 7. For 17, same idea. It needs to pair up with 8 to add up to 25. 16, same thing. Even though 16 is a perfect square, you can't be alone and there's no zeros. So needs to pair up with 9. Now, 15. 15 can pair up with either 1 or 10 to add up to either 16 or 25. So it can add up to 1 or 10. 14 can add up to 2 or 11. 13 can pair up with 3 or 12. 12 can pair up with 4 or 13. 11 can pair up with 5 or 14. And 10 can pair up with either 6 or 15. Alright, so these first 3 pairs are absolutely necessary, and every other pair has 2 options. But you can see that there's only one pair that 1 can pair up with, which is 15. So then our answer is going to be option B, 15. Problem 52. Lucky found $8.25 in pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters while walking home from school one week. When she deposited the money in the bank, she noticed that she had twice as many nickels as pennies, 1 fewer dime than nickels, and 1 more quarter than nickels. How many quarters did Lucky have that week? All right, so let's say that X equals the number of nickels. The reason why we made that choice is because everything else is in terms of the number of nickels. All right, so the total money that they have is $8.25. So let's do it in terms of cents. So we know that all coins together must add up to 825 cents. She has X nickels. So each nickel is 5 cents times X plus. And then it says that she has twice as many nickels as pennies. So 1 cent times 1/2 X plus 1 fewer dime than nickels. So 10 cents times X minus 1 and 1 more quarter than nickels plus 25 cents X plus 1. So this is 5X plus 1/2 X plus 10X minus 10 plus 25X plus 25. By grouping up all the X terms, we get 40.5X minus 10 plus 25 is plus 15 equals 825 cents. Subtract 15 from both sides, we get 40.5x equals 810. By dividing 40.5 from both sides, we get that x equals 20, which is the number of nickels. She has 1 more quarter than nickels. So then 20 plus 1, which is 21. The answer is option J, 21 quarters. All right, problem 53. Given this expression, what is x? All right, so 10 to the power of 2x minus 1 over x equals 1. We know that in order for this to equal 1, the exponent needs to be 0. So then 2x minus 1 over x equals 0. Well, the bottom can't equal 0, so the top needs to be 0 in order for this fraction to equal 0. So 2x minus 1 equals 0, and 2x equals 1. Divide both sides by 2. X equals 1/2. So the answer will be 1/2, option C. All right, problem 54. The table below shows the result of a survey of 250 people who were asked whether they like to read and whether they like to play a musical instrument. According to the results, what is the probability that a randomly selected person who was surveyed likes to read, given that the person plays a musical instrument? All right, so this circled group right here is the people who like to play a musical instrument. They want to know the probability that, given that someone plays an instrument, they like to read. So the total people who play an instrument is 90 people, as we can see from the table. And then the number of people who play and read is 50. So then the probability will be given by the people who play and read over the total people who play a musical instrument, which, simplifying, 5/9. Option G.